right, this edition of Tips Tuesday, we are going to be talking about the ins and outs of a credit repair consultation, what that consultation looks like. If you're afraid or you don't know what that is, or even if it's worth your time or money, this is the place to watch it. Let's get some insight from Glenn. Today we're talking about credit repair consultation and what does that look like? What does it even consist of and why is it even important? So today we're talking with Glenn Hendricks from Capital Credit Service, and we are going to be getting into the ins and outs of what that consultation looks like. So Glenn, what would you say is the first step of a consultation? Of course, it's setting up the time to meet, first of all. So what would you say is the next step after that?
Yeah, certainly it's having that conversation and sitting down and visiting and identifying that, yes, I would just recently decline a loan for whatever reasons. Maybe they don't know what's on their credit report. So we want to sit down and really go through that with them line by line and at least help them understand what's being reported and how that's affecting their score. Now, so what we're going to do is we're gonna ask that they enroll in a company called Identity IQ, and that's who we partner with. And they actually pull the three reports, Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax, and we're able to get all three scores from them. Now, through our partnership, they offer us our clients a 7-day trial for $1, and you can cancel within that 7 days, and then that additional $21.99 per month is not charged. But it is important for us to sit down and go through the credit report line by line so that we can help explain what is on there and what is being reported and how that is affecting the score.
And initially, is that something you do in person? Is this over the phone? What is the best platform to do that?
And just because of today's situation, what we've learned is just doing it over the phone is the easiest. We all have busy schedules. We can set up a time where we're gonna have the 15 to 30 minutes. We're gonna be able to sit at a desk or the kitchen table and go through each line with us, and then that way we can just really help point out where that score is coming from. And of course, if we don't acknowledge, we can't fix it. If we don't acknowledge what's broken, we can't fix it. So that's what we want to do, is go through each line with you and just really identify these areas that we can help in, or if you choose not to hire us, then it's certainly something you could do on your own. Now, we know that we really consider ourselves the credit experts, and a lot of people just don't have time for that. So let the experts handle it, go through each line with you, then we'll put together an action plan for you, and then we'll be off to a great start.
And I think that's really important to think about, is when you sit down with someone and analyze it, someone that looks at this all the time, it's really important to understand what you're looking at. So if you don't know what you don't know. I always tell my clients this. So it's important to be as knowledge-based and be as educated on the process as possible, and that's what I'm all about for my clients. Is don't just take my word for it. I want you to know and understand the ins and outs to be able to make those wise decisions. So what would you say that you're looking for? I guess, what are the big red flags on a credit report that you're like, wow, we totally can help. This is definitely something that we could to work with to make an improvement.
As we spoke about in an earlier video, really what we're looking for is any open accounts that maybe have some recent delinquencies, because we know that really has the biggest impact to your score. We're looking at open accounts that maybe have high credit balances versus the credit limit. Those are really easy for us to help walk you through to get those paid down, so that put a plan together to pay those down so that you can improve your score. And the next thing really what we're looking for is collection, charge-offs, medical bills that may have gone to collections, any public records as far as bankruptcies. Those are things that we're looking for, and we're really trying to identify how we can point out errors or erroneous information that's being reported to get those removed.
When you find bankruptcies on credit reports, what do you see as the biggest avenue, or are there any avenues that you can help with in those instances?
Well, the first thing we're going to look at is how long it's been reporting. Chapter 7 is 10 years. Chapter 13 would be 7 years. Now, these are just the statute of limitations that we're following, and each state will vary. But that's really what we're going to look at on that is what is the date that it was actually filed? Has it exceeded the statute of limitations? And can we challenge that right off the bat? Now, with bankruptcies and other public information, it's a little bit more challenging because the credit reports are getting your bankruptcy information from a company called LexisNexis. LexisNexis gets their information from Pacer. So really there's 3 different players in this. Pacer has all the accurate information. LexisNexis is gathering that information from Pacer, and then LexisNexis reports that information to the credit bureaus. And along those channels, there's a lot of layers and there's a lot of room for error. So really that's our job, is to go and identify those errors so that we can help you get those removed in some instances.
Excellent. That's great news. So that's one thing to keep in mind, is there's so many ins and outs to each little nuance of your credit report. And that's why it's important to partner with people like Glenn to be able to walk you through that. A trusted partner that is not going to take advantage of you, but really work on your behalf and work in your corner to make things happen. One of the things that we've realized is that collection accounts, all this stuff, it is what it is. So don't be embarrassed. I mean, everyone falls on hard times, everyone falls in difficult situations, whether you are in debt up to your ears or whether you have no debt at all. It's important to understand how to navigate that when you're purchasing a house. You can even get better interest rates. Let's say you have a good credit score, and raising it 50 points would put you in a better position, save you thousands of dollars on a new interest rate or on a new type of loan. Then why not take the advantage to do that? It's funny because we'll want to save $5 at Walmart or the store on an item, but yet when it comes to thousands of dollars, we don't take the time to actually save the money because we may not see it right now. Well, over time that money adds up, so take the time to do it. It's not that hard. You have people advocating for you. I guarantee you, there's nothing that we haven't seen up to now. There's no surprises with everything that we've worked through. So it's important just to deal with it. Bring it to light. Let's figure it out and make something happen. So.
And like I said, I mean, you can't fix what you don't acknowledge. I know that it may seem overwhelming to you when you know that the bills are piling up, but how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So what we're going to do is put that plan together, especially if you have collection accounts with balances. Let's talk about what we can do to help you settle these accounts, and at the same time have them remove them once the settlement payment is made. So this is what we refer to in our business as a pay for delete. So really those are things that we want to look at, certainly with each account, the statute of limitations, and really just to talk about these accounts with balances and how we can help you get these removed and get these balances really settled or paid in full. And it really is going to feel like a ton of bricks was just lifted off of you, and you're going to enjoy sleeping at night. I've been there. I know what it feels like. So let's have that free consultation. Let's talk about the action plan, and let's get going.
I know one of the greatest things to think about too when we're talking about all this is actual stories of people that seen success. So Glenn has a story of a client that he worked with that I would love to have him share what he was able to do for that client.
So in fact, this was just yesterday. Speaking with a client, we were just talking about the process and the progress that he has made with his improving his score. However, there were still a couple of things that were still on his credit report, in which one account still had a measly $57 on it. So we just picked up the phone, we called the creditor, He was able to go in, pay the $57, and they did acknowledge that they would remove that from his credit report. So that was really a positive. And then he had one other account that had a $980 some balance. And what he was wanting to do is go ahead and call the creditor and set up a payment plan to pay $100 a month and get this paid off within the next 6 to 9 months. And he did indicate that he was in a position to settle if it was significantly less. So what happened was we picked up the phone, we called the creditor, and we were talking about a payment plan. And then the conversation just came up is, what could we do to go ahead and settle this today and have it removed from the credit bureau, and that way we don't have to set up monthly payments. It's just a one-time fee, one-time payment, and what's that going to take? And they were able to negotiate. We negotiated, I should say, I negotiated with him for him a 70% settlement. So he paid $293 yesterday. They're going to remove that from his credit report, and really it was just a big win. And especially for him to know that this $1,000 bill that was lingering, and he was wondering how he was going to get this paid, and he was forecasting it to take 9 months, and he was able to do that in one day. So it was really a huge win,
Yeah.
and it's going to be a huge win for his score once everything gets updated.
And this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about, is you may be in that very situation where you've thought about, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm going to do. I want to buy a house in the next year, but with all the debt I have, I'm not going to be able to buy a house for the next 5 years. There are things that can be done. So you're paying rent, you're paying money to someone to live. Why not have it be working for you? The longer you take to make that happen, the more money you're missing out on. And this is one thing I'm very passionate about. In case you can't tell, it's something that drives me nuts when people have opportunities, they have things that they can do to better their situation, but they don't because they don't know how to do it. And that's what I am passionate about doing, is educating my clients, educating people about making that happen. And today, if you would like to schedule a consultation and get your story started, I always say that, let's start your story, let's begin your story, then we have an offer for you. And Glenn's gonna go ahead and tell you about the offer, but all you gotta do is click the Learn More button below, and or click the link that's provided, whatever platform you're watching this on, and we will get you started on the road to home ownership. Don't let your credit be an issue any longer. Glenn, what's the offer that you have today?
Yeah, that's a great point. Is stop procrastinating. Let's take care of it today, because it's really important that you focus on it, especially as you're setting goals and you want to get into that house, you want to stop paying the rent, and you want to start building equity in a home. And certainly, let's start that process today. Call us. We'll schedule a free consultation, free analysis. Won't charge you anything. We'll put together an action plan. And on top of that, what we're going to do is we're going to send you 3 easy tips to follow to improve your credit before purchasing a home. Now, we're just going to do this for the first 50 people. So the first 50 individuals that respond, we're going to send you the 3 easy to follow steps to help improve your credit before you purchase a home. And then also what we're going to do is give you the free credit, free consultation, and free analysis. So it's really a big win. Let's get started today. Contact Capital Credit Service, and we'll get you on your way.
Absolutely. So don't wait any longer. I hope that this was helpful to you. I hope it inspired you to take action and not to wait any longer. And please don't forget to or help me out by liking this video, sharing this video with anyone that you think can use it. And it helps me on all the platforms. If you're watching this on YouTube, on Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is, please make sure to share and like, and make sure to subscribe to the page, my page also, so that you get all new video updates and tips and tricks that may help you get the home of your dreams or make a move up. Maybe you own your own home, but your credit isn't there, but you want to make a move up. This is to help you too. This is not just for first-time home buyers. This is anyone that may be facing some credit challenges. get a better rate, get into a better situation. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.